we're a 4.5-year-old company in the marketing technology space. We have offices across Bangalore, San Francisco, Jakarta in Indonesia, and London in UK. We have a team of about 140 people across products, marketing, customer success. We are backed by some of the marquee investors like Matrix Partners, Helion Ventures. And coming to the product, right? So we think of us as an intelligent marketing automation platform that helps consumer businesses like Oyo, Airtel, Yatra, and many others to understand customer behavior across all their different touch points and orchestrate communication across all these different communication channels. And these channels could be like your app notifications, in-app messages, email, which is the most traditional way to engage your customers, SMS, web notifications. And we also have a versatile platform called Connector Platform, through which you can actually engage your customers across channels like Facebook ads, Google ads, WhatsApp, and others as well, right? So let me explain you what we do with an example. Let's take Oyo, which is one of our customers, right? And if a customer of Oyo is actually searching for a hotel on the app, and then later on goes to the website where he actually makes the booking, and later on goes to the hotel, and then he checks in, and then he orders some food. So we tie this whole customer journey. We build a single view of the customer across all these touch points. And if you look at companies like Oyo and many others like you have millions of users, right? And you all want to send hyper-personalized communication to each and every individual user depending upon who they are and what they do. And it's not possible without automation. And that's what we at MoEngage enable, right? So we enable growth teams, which includes product, marketing teams, to create these automated campaigns and workflows with which you can engage each and every individual user with the hyper-personalized content at the right time on the right channel, right? And in the last 4.5 years, we brought in major changes in this landscape. Before we start off, companies were using different tools, one for email, one for SMS. They were just majorly segmenting based on demographics. And when we started with launching the most advanced segmentation engine in mid of 2014, which will enable you to segment based on past behavioral data, right? And then we launched smart triggers in 2014, which will allow you to kind of trigger communications based on real-time interactions, right? Instead of just past behavioral data, we made it to make it real-time. When people are doing it, in the moment, you can actually send personalized communications, right? Then we went into the next level in 2015 with launch of geofencing, where you can actually trigger communications based on where the user is actually at the point of time, like contextual location, right? Then we get to the next level in the 2016, where we launched our machine learning engine, or we call it as the intelligence layer, which automatically optimizes the time and the content for your campaigns or for your messages automatically towards higher conversions, right? And we were the only first player to basically bring in the full transparency into push deliverability, right from the time it was sent to whether it was actually being interacted or whether a user has been converted, right? And because of the full transparency in the deliverability that we provided, our customers started to see some challenges with push delivery because of the growth in Chinese manufacturers, like Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, and OnePlus, and others. Companies started to see challenges with push deliverability, right? So to counter that problem, we launched push amplification in 2017, which improves the deliverability by like 3 to 4 times on these Chinese manufacturers, and like up to a 30% overall deliverability. And in fact, we are working on another optimization as we speak, which we think will improve the deliverability even further in the industry, and that's again an industry first feature. And in last year, we launched dynamic product messaging, which will allow you to kind of include product recommendations into your communications, right? Because companies were allowing you to just personalize based on clickstream data, but the whole product context was completely missing in the whole thing. So we thought, let's bring the product context where you have an accurate understanding of the product availability, whether the product is in store, what is the price of the product, so that you can actually personalize the communications with accurate product information as well, right? And with our continued innovations, and we plan to continue to keep doing this, we have been able to gain trust of like 1,000+ brands across, like these include the Fortune 500 brands like Deutsche Telekom, Samsung, McAfee, and others, and also the fast-growing internet companies, as well as the early-stage startups as well, right? In India, if you look at it, we work with the industry leaders across verticals like music, telecom, travel, hospitality, e-commerce, and various other verticals, right? We also have a large presence in Southeast Asia, particularly Indonesia, which is the largest market in Southeast Asia. In Indonesia, we work with 3 out of top 4 e-commerce marketplaces like Tokopedia, the 2 largest travel players like Traveloka and Ticket, and many others. And we have like 1/3 of our business coming from US and Europe, where we work with some of the large enterprises like McAfee across their global security products, Travelodge in UK, Deutsche Telekom, which is Europe's largest telco, and many others, right? So because of the scale of the companies that we work with, we operate at like significant scale. We analyze almost every smartphone user in India. And across our customers globally that we work with, we analyze like 350 million plus users every month, almost like 150 million users every day. We analyze about like 45 billion customer interactions, which include like your purchase or a sign up or a login, all these interactions on which you kind of create these campaigns on, right? We send about close to like 3/4 of a billion to a billion messages almost every day. And at peaks, it goes up more than a billion as well, right? So we have you can see that, I mean, how we built a robust platform, and we keep thinking of what is the future scale that is going to happen, and then we keep building and enhancing our data platform towards the same. And thanks to our customers and the kind of use cases they use, we gained validation from other industry research organizations like Gartner and Forrester. We are the only company from the APAC region to be featured by Gartner in the Magic Quadrant for mobile marketing platforms. And a couple of days back, we just also got certification from AWS for our competency in digital customer experience, right? I want to briefly talk about our vision and where we are headed before we launch our products, right? Our vision is to build the world's most trusted customer engagement platform that enables our consumer brands, our consumer customers, to personalize every user interaction of theirs, right? And towards this vision, we are unveiling a couple of products today, a couple of product categories today. And I would like to start with the video on the first product.
I love my job. The best part about marketing? Bringing ideas to life and running campaigns that help grow your business, like this. But this doesn't just happen. It's a lot of work. And we need data, lots and lots of data. Now here's the part I don't like. All that data comes from different tools. Tools that don't talk to each other. The data points are so far apart, we might as well be taking shots in the dark. We wanted something a little more seamless and a little less like that. That's why we got MoEngage. Think of it as analytics, customer engagement, and marketing automation all rolled into one. Now my team can get insights and act on them without ever leaving the platform. Let's take a look at this funnel. See that huge drop-off? With MoEngage, we can now target these exact users with a message specifically tailored for them. I can create a workflow to put things on autopilot and monitor the team's performance through my own custom dashboard. Now we're more data-driven, our learning cycles are faster, and we have more time to focus on this. All thanks to MoEngage. I love my job. Who wouldn't?
Great. So MoEngage Analytics came out of our customer interactions that we have had over the last 3 to 4 years, right? We start with helping customers understand customer behavior, segment customers, create these automated workflows. But companies were increasingly looking for more advanced ways to understand their customer behavior, figure out insights around where people are dropping off, what kind of segments to target, which kind of campaigns to run, right? And currently they were doing, I mean, our customers were doing it at different tools. One tool where they were actually getting these insights, and MoEngage kind of create these campaigns, right? And it's becoming very hard for them to act on these insights in a seamless way, right? And they end up not doing it, right? So that is what we are trying to solve with MoEngage Analytics. You can actually you can track your customer data in the same platform where you analyze and understand your insights about your customer behavior, and then seamlessly act on it in the same place. And we kind of bringing this like agility, like you use the agile process in development, like we are bringing the agile marketing into the whole system, right? I would like to call upon Nalin, who heads product at MoEngage, to talk about how you can quickly do this, you can seamlessly do this in the single platform. He'll talk through the capabilities of the platform and how we can actually achieve this growth loop seamlessly.
Check, check. Thanks, Ravi, for giving us a quick glimpse of what analytics is all about. I am Nalin, just another product guy at MoEngage. At MoEngage, we believe in building products that makes marketing easier and also unlocks the revenue for the marketers or the businesses that we work with. We are an engagement-first platform, unlike many others who are probably analytics-first, the analytics tools that they have. And being an engagement-first platform, we interacted with a lot of marketers in the past 2-3 years. And the most common pain point that Ravi also talked about is that if you have data, and even if you have a lot of data, how do you act on that data? If your analytics and engagement tools are different, you always have to do a back and forth interaction to create anything which is meaningful in terms of personalized communication. That's why we built MoEngage Analytics. Combining MoEngage Analytics with the powerful engagement engine that we already have, this problem does not exist anymore. You can directly track any of the user insights and break them down, understand it more, and then feed it forward to create a targeted, relevant campaign for your users. Using behavioral trends by MoEngage Analytics, you can directly understand how many users are coming to your app or web. If they're coming, what are they doing? How many of them are interacting with the product? How many of them are working on the content play that you have? How many of them are probably converting? How many of them are subscribing if you're a subscription business? To understand more about these users, you can directly go and split the users basis their user property in terms of if you want to understand where are they coming from. If you also want to understand what genders are making some purchases in what category. If you also want to understand that these user split that you have, are these the loyal users or the tags, whatever you have given them, be it a new user, be it a churned user or a dormant user, those kind of analysis you can also do. What you can also do is you can break this behavior on the basis of event attributes. You can also understand that the conversions that you have, which category are they coming from. You can also understand that if the content has been played, what is the split as per the artist or the genres. I think a lot of us today talked about retention, and that has been a holy grail because you acquire users pretty soon using your paid acquisition campaign, but that CAC is paid only when you are able to maximize the customer lifetime value. And to maximize the customer lifetime value, your customers need to spend more time on your app or your website and have to continuously keep on doing the critical conversions that you're looking out for. If you are a content company, you would want them to serve the news or play the videos or play the music. If you are an e-commerce company, you would want them to come back, make the purchases again and again. But how do you understand? You can understand that by using a cohort analysis, which does the user behavior engagement over a period of time, tells you how soon your customers are coming back. Is your product sticky? Are you able to keep the customers hooked on your product? Or is it just like they have stumbled on it by chance and they don't find any utility out of it? To understand how the customers are responding to your product, the cohort analysis or the retention cohorts are really very useful. If you see in the example here, if we see from 20 to 27 Jan, 515K users have been probably acquired. So this cohort is of the new users who have come, and now we are trying to see how many of them are coming back during the next 3 to 4 weeks. So here, if you see, on 2027 Jan, 515K users have come, and then till week 1, only 41.64% are being retained. You don't know what has happened to the remaining 60-odd%. In the week 2, you are able to retain only 32.38%. That's directly a cue for the marketer that your engagement is not working out there. You probably need to have more interactions with the customers during the D7 or D14, where the maximum drop-off is happening. Or probably go back and see that, is this problem happening because of some product problem, and go and resolve it. There are both the ways around it. As a marketer, as a product manager, as a category manager, all of us are quite concerned about, a lot of customers are probably coming to our app or website, but we don't know what they're doing. And even if we know what they're doing, how do we know where are they going off without making the purchase or without doing the subscription? We always want to understand that the customers who are coming, we want to analyze them across the critical funnels that we have. When I talk about critical funnels, the critical funnels can be your onboarding funnel if you're talking about an onboarding journey or a nurture campaign. It can also be around conversion funnel if you are a commerce company where you want to see how many people have come to your app, have viewed the products, and have purchased the product. If you see here, a lot of people are dropping off in the step 2 to step 3 process, where a lot of people have viewed the products, but only a few have purchased the product. With MoEngage Actionable Analytics, you can take the action right there, right then, and all of this can be done in a Ziffy. You can create a smart trigger campaign or a flows campaign basis the funnel drop-offs, be it from a step 1 to step 3 drop-off, or a step 1 to step 2, or step 2 to step 3. Be it a consequent or a overall drop-off, you can target all of these. With a hyper-personalized message, I think Gaurav was talking about personalization earlier today, and a very good question came up was that how do you personalize at scale? How do you personalize it for every user? You probably don't know about the user context a lot of time. So here with MoEngage, you have all your user data, your user properties, user behavior, their transaction data, all at a single place, which allows you to discover their intent as well as their preferences. And then you can bake them up into a communication to deliver a hyper-personalized engagement. I think Deepit was also talking about that, how do you know your notifications are working? And I think you can directly go back and, with MoEngage, you can directly go back and see whether after sending the notification, your funnel has improved or not. You can similarly go back on the retention side and see whether after sending the notification, has your retention curve, has your retention graph increased or not? Are you able to retain more users over time after sending the notification? You can always create a control and a test group to kind of ensure that your learnings are not biased in any manner. After doing all this analysis, there are certain analysis that we want to do on a daily basis, which is more like on the reporting side, where we would want to have clear indicators on a daily basis that how my business KPIs are doing. With MoEngage dashboards, you can measure what matters to your business. You can create charts and pin them to your custom dashboards around all the KPIs that you have. Given that there are multiple teams inside a company who might be tracking or chasing different KPIs, you can create multiple dashboards depending on which team you belong to or what your KPIs are. Marketing can have one dashboard while product can have another dashboard. On the other side, you can also create multiple dashboards depending on the user lifecycle or the way you have structured your campaigns. If you have one line of campaigns for your onboarding, you can probably have one dashboard for onboarding, which is always giving you how your new users are doing. At this point of time, this is the bouquet of features that we have launched, and we believe that they are going to help the marketers to integrate all the data at one place and act on it very instantly. We will continue our journey to improve the experience that you have with MoEngage. We'll also try to keep making marketing easier, where it's not completely driven by science, but also it should come out intuitively to everyone. I would like to invite Saurabh Pal next, who will take us through that how analytics can improve the engagement, how using analytics you can improve the communication that is sending and probably improve the conversions from there. OnlineTyari has been one of the early customers and also been the early adopters of MoEngage Analytics. Passing on to Saurabh. Please welcome Saurabh.
Is it working? Can you hear me? Sure. So thanks, Nalin and MoEngage team. Uh, Here we are in the very, like hundreds of people who are great minds in the industry are with us. And we had great sessions earlier. I'll just quickly start with what Pranav started with. We need to actually strategize our CRM marketing, how we do it. Then actually Gaurav started with why personalization is a very important factor for us. And at OnlineTyari, we see a wide diversity in the kind of segments, the kind of people who are actually using our platform. From every corner of the country, vernacular aspects, they have different set of needs. Since we are a government preparing app, so the needs, the cycles is quite different. They have 3-month cycle, 12-month cycle. So the kind of diversity we see is very huge. And to cater to these diversity is very important. If we just broadcast, that's not going to work. So personalization becomes a very important factor. So why data is very important in such a scenario is because data is kind of an oil in any marketing. It just fuel anything you do. So what we see is, I'll start with one of the quote which is very similar, is in God I trust, others must bring data. Like I do not tend what your opinion matters. I just need to see, can you validate it by using data? And every one of sitting here can see one of or have seen these reports in one of their scenario. You have seen Google Analytics for detailed reporting. You have used Tableau for your visualization purposes. Excel and spreadsheets are like widely used by everybody. But for a marketer who is creating a campaign, he won't understand what these charts actually mean. He needs to see what actually he can gain an insight from. So that's where marketing has to be very data-oriented. How you train the people is very important. So this is one of the very few examples which we are currently doing, and how are we transitioning to a data-oriented marketing. So this is one of the funnel which we'll look at is probably people who have onboarded. Then the second step says people who have taken a test, since we are a test preparatory platform. And the third thing is people who have entered into our payment funnel. So as a marketer, when I see this chart, I see 40% people actually converting to a second step, and around 75% are actually dropping off in the next step. So there is something I need to work on, but still I do not have clarity what I can do around it. I dig more into data. So I see my cohort, how is it looking at? So the cohort says from 1 into second step, week on week, what are my matrices looking at? So what do I see is, in the first week of users onboarding, the metric is quite stable and improving. In the second week, which I see, on the fifth week, basically the last 2 weeks, there is a down by 2.10%. The marketer now sees the simplistic numbers which he can work on. So the actionables for any marketer who sees this graph would be simply, I need to improvise my first week campaigns based on what the campaigns are performing. Because the graph looks stable, it's improving, but not in a very fashionable way. The second actionable he is trying to draw out, the second week onboarding campaigns need to be checked. Probably a very high impacting campaign must have been stopped. That's why the numbers are got low. The second cohort is exactly the second step to third step conversion. So what I see in the first week, the cohort is not stable. It's like varying from 9% to 13% to 5.60%. Why is it happening? The question simply arises by looking at the cohort. And also, if I look at the third week and the fourth week, the numbers are too low. So that means my churn is very high, or probably I have not started with the reactivation campaign. So the marketer simply gets a question, did my team run an offer because the cohort has jumped so much and then brought down in the next week? The second thing he is actually sees, I need to actually look into reactivation campaigns. So now data becomes a very important piece the marketer who is looking at. The two forms of data, one is a funnel, one is a cohort, he is now able to draw insights. So what we are doing, this is the actual use case we are trying to solve here, and the marketing started a new campaign in this kind of a flow pattern. The flow looks similar to like people who are onboarded, have they taken a test? If yes, then they need to take a second test or not. If they have not taken a test, then check for have they ever transacted or not. Basically, they have converted to a paid user or not. If not, then they need to be entitled with an informatory thing, what the subscription is, what the paid model is. If they have ever transacted, then we could actually offer them a personalized offer. So basically now my campaigns are driven by what the actual user has previously done. By running this sort of engagement, this kind of personalization at every campaign level, we were able to make our first step conversion, which was actually 40% the first slide you saw, it was jumped to 46%. We were actually able to improve. What the good thing was about we were doing is we were actually delivering personalized messages and CTS to the user. Now every user is being catered in a different way. Second thing is we are doing is dynamic segmentation. So as soon as user onboards, he has a different profiles he actually filling it. Now, instead of sending everything to the same users, we just see what the profile of the users is. So basically, we are driving the dynamic segmentation. Third thing is people who are actually churning off in a later stage, why they are churning off, we can actually start with reactivation campaigns. The second metric which we were able to be CTR. Basically, we were able to 3x times. So sending a personalized notification with each and a different message, people are now feeling this is for me. I need to actually interacting with. So what exactly did we do is triggered messages with varying delivery time. So not as soon as you do it, you don't want to bug him. You send it on a later time frame, probably 3 hours later. Probably if it's a night time, you send him on a different time zone. Hyper-personalization as well. So what did we try this? We used MoEngage transaction push API. So every user was given a different payload. So by payload means his message is different, his communication is different, probably personalized by language. His CTA URLs are also different. So landing pages are also different for each customer. The third thing which was the end goal of this funnel was obviously the sales. We were able to drive our sales by 400%. In a matter of just 2 weeks of implementation. Why and how did we? Because we were actually targeting users based on the last activity. What actually he needed, we were able to serve him. So now, as a marketer's point of view, he is now actually contributing a very good thing in his campaigns. He is able to learn actually what he can improve on. Then, since we were the early adopters in the marketing analytics of MoEngage, we started these funnels can be regularly looked at. So why not bring, as Gaurav actually discussed in the launch scenario, where he was saying we need to actually bring marketing and analytics into one room and then do the things. This dashboard, a minimalistic visualization, not a very fancy where marketer would not understand, would help solve the problem. This is few charts or few numbers he can actually regularly look at. If the things are going good, he can improve on. If the things are going bad on a particular day, he gets a question, right? I need to work on this thing. Something is going bad or something is going good. So bringing all the data into one system, the marketer now knows, analyst also working, business actually growing is how you actually are transitioning from broadcast kind of a marketing to a personalized marketing, more data oriented. That's what has MoEngage actually enabled us to do. We do have other things stored off in open analytics and which Ravi would tell on. So I'll pass on to him.
Thanks, Saurabh, for taking us through how you take decisions through the MoEngage Analytics and also make the marketing much more data-driven, right? And it's very satisfying for us to see how people use our products in a very varied kind of use cases, and it's very satisfying. I would like to talk about one of our unique aspects of our analytics suite, which is open analytics. Customer interactions early on itself, we realized that companies don't want to just get limited by what we offer on the dashboard, right? We work with some of the largest mid-market enterprise companies, and they want to build very custom visualizations on top of the all MoEngage customer data, right? They have analysts in the team, they have product teams inside the company who wants to write even advanced SQL queries as well, right? At the same time, they want to combine the MoEngage data, which they send to us, like the customer interactions, campaigns, transaction data. They want to combine that with the data from their internal systems as well and build visualizations or analysis on top of all of that data, right? And we want to solve this use case also because if companies want to do this right now. They need to build their ETL data pipeline infrastructure, track all these interactions themselves. They need to dump it to a warehouse, and they need to do all of that, right? It's a lot of work. It requires a lot of engineering efforts as well. So we wanted to solve these use cases as well, and that's the reason we also, when we built our data platform for our analytics suite, we thought, let's build it in a way that we can let companies plug in any visualization tool. Any SQL-based visualization tool like a Tableau, ClickView, Data Studio, Redash, or any SQL-based tool, you can plug in directly on top of all the MoEngage data that you send to us, right? It could be your transaction data, campaign data, like email interactions, push interactions, SMS interactions, and uninstalled data. So you can plug in your visualization on top of all of this data, and then build any kind of visualizations, right? And the possibilities are like kind of unlimited. So you can build visualizations like this, where you can actually combine the MoEngage data with your internal data as well. And like I think Saurabh mentioned, they even OnlineTyari uses our Open Analytics suite. They build internal dashboards where they can keep track of some of the key KPIs, and then they even combine that with their internal data. We have other customers like Tokopedia and Spoil and others who already leverage our Open Analytics to build internal dashboards, which are basically, some of them are built by the analyst teams, and then which can be consumed by the marketing, product, and all the teams within the company as well, right? And this is like a summary of the MoEngage Analytics. You can use our behavioral trends to track the customer behavioral trends. You can use the funnels to understand where people are dropping off. You can use our cohorts to understand how people are retaining. And you can use the actionable analytics to quickly take action on top of the insights. You can use the dashboards to track all the KPIs around acquisition, engagement, retention, conversion, campaign engagement. You can build these different dashboards which different teams inside the company can consume. And you can use the Open Analytics so that you don't get limited by what we offer ourselves, right? We already have MoEngage Analytics has been in early access for the last 45 months. We already have, these are some of the customers who are already leveraging the solution. We have been evolving our product with their continued feedback over the last 4 to 5 months. And we already have paying customers at the time of launch now already itself, right? So it has come with, we spend a lot of time because when we launch any new product suite, we want to offer a best-in-class solution. And so that is when we basically came up with a completely differentiated approach. And how we can make marketing more agile is the way we thought about it, right? And we would like to offer our MoEngage Analytics suite for a free 30-day free trial from today. And we are taking it public today. And you can get started. And if you're not an existing customer of MoEngage, you can email us at hello@moengage or reach out to one of our team members. So we have one more product to unveil today. It's part of our core marketing automation suite. And this towards basically improving the web experience of your end users. To talk about this, I would like to first start with a video, and then we'll take it from there.
Meet Alice. Alice has just booked a flight from London to New York on your website and hasn't booked any hotels yet. So you send an email to her with awesome hotel discounts. But your awesome offer is lost in the hundreds of other things fighting for her attention. The next time she visits your site, she probably does not even remember your offer. Picture this instead. What if you could remind Alice of the exact same offer the next time when she is on your website? Bingo! You've got her attention, and perhaps a conversion too. Introducing on-site messaging. Smart messages that are personalized based on your past activity. Let's get back to Alice. Even after she has booked a hotel, you can continue to delight her. Perhaps you can now offer a quick read about the best things to do around the same hotel she booked. Now, that's a connected customer experience for Alice, leading to a wonderland of conversions. Create connected experiences across channels, including your website. Set it up in minutes. Give it a try. MoEngage on-site messaging.
So this is one of the most requested features from MoEngage. But companies were using, again, tools like Sumo and like Bounce Exchange and tools like that, which don't, again, play with other channels, right? And when we wanted to launch this, I mean, we wanted to kind of build it in a unique way, right? So the idea is that on-site messaging allows you to personalize, show personalized prompts to your website visitors, depending upon who the customer is, what he or she has done, and also at the right time, right? Let's take an example. We have Yatra, which is one of our customers, and then they want to drive hotel bookings. And let's say they send an SMS to the customer with a coupon code to drive the bookings to a specific destination, because they saw that the user was actually interested in that location, right? And when the user clicks on this link, and then he lands onto the website already knows, using MoEngage, that it's the same customer who was actually sent this SMS, and it knows that he was sent this given offer. And when he's actually like, I mean, he's using the website, but in between, at a given point of time, he's abandoning, right? At that point of time, the website shows a personalized prompt to convert him and to drive the conversion, right? So at a summary, on-site messaging allows you to improve conversions from your website visitors, right? And I would like to call upon Rana, who heads marketing at Treebo, to talk about how they look at connected experience across all the different channels, and also how they leveraged on-site messaging to improve conversions from their website visitors.
Hello. Am I audible? Yes, okay. Okay, thanks a lot, Ravi, to invite me to present on the new feature that we launched. We are a beta customer of this recently launched product suite, and hence would love to talk about our experience. But before I do that, I'll take a moment to take you guys through what Treebo is. I don't know if you all are aware, but for the people who are not, we are a tech-enabled hotel chain. We are currently present across 430 hotels in 83 cities. And the one thing that is differentiated about Treebo, I'm sure that you've heard about the competition, definitely. Oyo Rooms is making a lot of headlines given the massive funding that they garnered. But the one thing that Treebo does extremely differently from our competition is that we take experience really to our hearts, and we make it the core of everything we do at Treebo. So for people who have not visited a Treebo hotel or not stayed at Treebo hotel, I would really urge you guys to stay at one, and the experience will speak for itself. So moving on, I would like to basically tell you, so while I was talking about the experience, we also thought about how we can extend the same experience that we want our customers to, that our customers get at the hotel, to extend that to the non-stay elements, which is the booking process as well. And we wanted to focus on that. It has twofold advantages. One, that the customer is really delighted with its booking experience and will be loyal with you. And hence, it will also give you the right ROI on your marketing activities in an extremely competitive space like hospitality. So quite early on in our journey, we understood that we have to hyper-personalize the experience for a customer. And in our acquisition journey itself, we have to personalize that experience. So what we do is we really think hard on how we can make the returning customer. So hospitality is a complex purchase. It's not like not like booking a cab wherein you just go onto the app, you select an option, and you are done, right? You basically consider a lot of hotels, their locations, the reviews, the photographs, probably consult with your better halves, and then make the decision. So it's a very involved purchase decision, and it requires a customer to visit the site multiple times. And hence, we realize that until we solve for the returning user's experience, we will not be able to convert really well. So hence, the aim to personalize the experience for the returning users, and it obviously gives us a lot of returns as well. So that's why the use case of marketing automation tool was a fairly obvious one, because we wanted to personalize this, and it is extremely difficult to personalize it on the entire product. So while we can have a lot of real estate to communicate offerings and everything, but to completely revamp the product for every single user is extremely difficult, and that's where we were looking for marketing automation partners. And hence, we ended up with MoEngage. In fact, we are the third. These are the third people we are integrating with. We have had our experiences with other marketing automation tools, and I'll tell you a bit more about why we chose MoEngage. But I think what they help us achieve is the exact same thing that was explained in the video. When we communicate the offer is received by the customer, but he does not want to act in that moment, right? And when they happen to visit us the next time, we have to communicate this exact same offering to them. And that's where some elements of the on-site messaging help us. So one of the tools that we use, I think it's not very visible, but on the right-hand side, we use the online sticky notifications very, very extensively. That helps us communicate the exact same offer that we had communicated to you via an SMS, an email, a push notification when you visit the site as well. And we've added a few experimentative features, like we have added a timer to that, which helps us create a sense of urgency that the offer is running out and the customer transacts really well. We have to push the customer to transact with us because it's an involved purchase decision and people are almost in the dilemma of whether to book now is the right moment to book or not. So we have to create that sense of urgency for that. And the second element we use is the exit intent pop-ups. We use them currently on the website only, and we are looking forward to a time delay kind of a pop-up, which comes on the M site or PWA that we have. So this helps us to satiate the deal-seeking behavior of budget hotel customers. Budget hotel customers are obviously going to multiple platforms and figuring out whether this hotel is available on the best price, for the best price on this platform or not. And this helps us reinforce that, yes, they are getting the best deal, and they end up transacting on our platform. So both of these elements have given us early results. We have seen about 15% increase in website conversions due to these two features that we are using. And why we switched to MoEngage was also because of the technological. So the tech stack is extremely stable. I think when you're dealing with people on the move, consumers on the move, the delivery rates are something that are an important aspect of any marketing communication, and that's where we found MoEngage to be extremely competent. And hence, we also saw a 20% uptick when we compared their results with other tools that we were using previously. So while these are early days, and we are still looking forward to a host of other features that Ravi and team will develop, I'm sure that the team at MoEngage is really basically is committed to our resolve. To help us in solving our resolve of becoming the most loved travel hotel network in India. So yeah, over to you, Ravi.
So thanks, Rana, for taking us through how you personalize the experience of your returning visitors. In fact, Treebo uses the full stack of the MoEngage. They use the marketing automation, analytics, on-site, the full stack, and then they create a connected experience across all these channels. I would like to give a preview of something that we are working on, which will take it to the next level, right? So we call this product as web personalization. So currently, I mean, with on-site messaging, you're able to the website knows it's the same user, but you are still showing like overlays and pop-ups, right? And we want to take it to the next level where you actually personalize the actual website experience, which includes the appearance of the website, which includes the functionality of the website, and that's where we are headed with the web personalization product. Let's take this as an example. So it's let's take one of our customers, Travelodge. They're currently doing the early access of our product. And if you look at the search results, let's say I think these are the hotels in London, right? And if you look at it's the same page, and for two different users, one of them is a discount seeker, and the other is actually a business traveler. And the website experience is personalized with the embedded content, which is different. Like here is an offer, which is like special offer, 20% off, and that's a breakfast, because the business traveler doesn't care about the discount, right? So the same website is personalized, the experience is personalized to individually each user. And the best part is we are giving this power to the marketing or growth teams, right? So like you currently run these push and email campaigns, you can create these millions of web experiences for each and every user without involving your technology team, right? So your technology team just need to integrate our solution just once. After that, you can create these experiences like how you run these campaigns every day. And The best part is this whole thing operates on the same customer data platform that we have, which runs marketing automation, analytics, and the same things that you already use, segmentation, personalization triggers, can be used for the web personalization product as well. We are currently doing the early access with Travelodge and McAfee, a couple of our customers. And as we see the output and we are going to tune it further, we are going to make it more marketer friendly as well, and we plan to launch it in the second half of this year. And there's a preview of this, and we can't wait to see kind of the unlimited possibilities that you use this product in different ways. This is another example of how it can be done as well. So this is where we are headed. I think people ask me like where we are headed in the product vision, like at lunch. So what we are trying to do is we are planning to build an integrated customer engagement platform with these 3 core product categories as focus. One is an analytics engine, which provides actionable insights into customer behavior. And then the marketing automation suite, which allows you to kind of personalize all these communications across all the different channels. And the web and app, and with the third product offering, we allow you to even personalize the web and app experience, not just the channels. And all the 3 products operate on the same unified customer profile, and they are also built in a way that these are very deeply integrated. So you can go from one to the other. It's just not like 3 products in one dashboard. These are deeply integrated with each other. So when you run these campaigns on web and app personalization, you see the analytics through the analytics suite, right? So that's how we are thinking. We plan to focus over the next 2-3 years. We just plan to focus on these 3 product offerings or 3 product categories, be the best in class in each of them. And the next one piece that we are working on over the course of this year is enhancing our Sharepoint intelligence layer, which works horizontally across all these categories and improves and provides proactive insights, actionable insights, and automatically optimizes towards higher conversions. And we have some important things that we are working on, and we plan to announce some of our capabilities in our machine learning over the course of this year. So that's at a high-level summary of where we are headed. And we'll be happy to take any questions that you have, even for me or even for Rana, if he's here, and Nalin. Yeah. And by the way, so we have an experience on outside where you can actually experience the new products that we have and look at how you can actually use that.
Hi, Ravi. I have a question on marketing attribution. So for campaign attribution, we have different models like last touch, linear, and time decay. So
Sure.
the model that is most commonly used is the last touch, and I think
Yes.
MoEngage also uses that. So, and I understand that it's similar to implement and also measure. So do you think it is the correct approach, or we need to look beyond that? Like, have we kind of stopped at this model and not thinking like if other models are useful, or like what is the correct approach here? Thank you.
I think that's a good question, and in fact, we have had so many conversations around this attribution models, right? So what we ended up realizing is that, okay, let's give something as default, which basically 80% of the people, so generally companies like us, we are a platform, right? We need to think of not just the 20% of the companies, but a lot more broader ecosystem of companies, right? So we saw that many companies would just look at last click attribution as a key way to measure their campaign impact. And, but also some companies would look at other kind of attributions like multi-touch attributions or time decay attributions, right? So we said, I mean, we'll start with the last touch, but you can also obviously, the way we are thinking is that you can configure the different attribution models in the dashboard, and then depending upon that, your whole conversions across all the channels, you would see it accordingly. And with the analytics suite that we built, so we built it in a generic way that you can even do that understanding of if you want to figure out your conversions impact from multiple channels, you can actually do that through the analytics suite, but not as a kind of a default model. But you can actually do that through the analytics suite that we built as well. If you have any questions, I'm here, and we have an experience on outside. You can try out our new products, and we can't wait to see how you use these products and do different kind of use cases, right? Look forward. Thank you.